Hey guys, welcome to week 2 now of our new reality of online teaching thanks to our friend the coronavirus. It's a totally different world for all of us, obviously, and I know that you got things you kind of get done with other classes as well as in your private and home lives. So, just a couple of quick things we're going to go over today as we try to make sure that you're progressing in this particular class. You've already got your assignments, like with the fact sheet commercials. Remember, you're going to choose 2 clients, and for each client, you're going to produce a 30, 60, and 90-second spot. Make sure you upload your scripts. Even though we are not in class together, you can still be able to reach out to some of your classmates if you want to have them work with you on your commercials. They can do voice recordings and things like that. Then you can email to each other, upload into your Google Drive accounts or whatever to be able to pull down those different voice tracks and mix them together. If you look at professionally done commercials, especially when you're talking about audio, there are many times now, thanks to technology, that your voice talent can be in different places. One person might be in New York, another person might be in Texas. So they lay down their particular voice tracks and then just email them or whatever they want to use to be able to get them to the production facility, and then you mix it together. So you can still go ahead and make sure that you have your two-person commercials produced by just emailing the script to whoever you're going to be working with, or maybe you're going to have a family member work with you. That's fine too. But if you want to use one of your classmates to help you in producing the commercial, that's fine. Email them, and then they can lay down, read whatever the scripts are that they have to read, and then email that back to you. That's why I made sure you guys, if you weren't using Audacity, make sure you use Audacity to make it easy for you. But there are other apps out there available, and I'm going to talk about at least one of them that might be able to help you as far as being able to lay down audio tracks. Uh, Lost my train of thought here for a second. Also, too, another assignment that you guys will be working on, obviously, is working with getting your sports highlight reel dub. Even though you have access to Adobe Suite, some of you may still be having challenges if you've never used Adobe Suite before. So I'm working on putting together a demonstration video for a couple of other video editing software packages that are free that you'll be able to use. That does the same thing as Adobe Suite. Because when you graduate, you may not have access to Adobe Suite, and purchasing it is fairly expensive if you want to do some video editing. So look for that over the next couple of days. Also, one of the assignments we were going to work on before was doing a teleprompter read. Well, now that we don't have access to the studio anymore, I'm going to give you a couple of different techniques that you can use to be able to use your computer and your smartphone to be able to help you with your teleprompter read assignment, as well as another assignment I'm going to give you guys to work on in just performance-wise, learning how to do stand-up and anchoring work. So these are some things that we'll be working on over the next few weeks that you'll be able to do to continue to enhance what you're trying to do and not only pass this class performance-wise, but be that much better, especially for those of you who are interested in working, in front of the camera or behind the microphone, working on your different techniques. Before we get into the next app I'm going to show you guys, let's talk about some things as far as working on stand-up. You were, before this whole breakup, working with Dr. Taylor's clients in providing talent for them. And one of the things that you're providing talent for was being a stand-up person putting together a package. Hopefully, for those who are interested in doing this as a profession, the work that you were doing with Dr. Taylor's class could be something that you can add into your portfolio. We've got some jumbling things going on right now because with the end of school not being physically available to work on these different things, how can you help get stuff for your demo reel? Well, the great thing about technology is that you don't need the sophisticated cameras and stuff like that we have here on campus. Our smartphone technology has made it that much easier to be able to produce professionally looking, video and edited work that you can put on your demo reel with pride. Technology is getting smaller, and having it in your pocket right now. You can do so many different things. You're seeing a lot of independent film companies who are actually shooting films on iPhones and smartphones because it is that much cheaper and you can still get some great quality behind that. You're probably hearing my dog Roxy in the background barking. She's one of the neighbor dogs anyway. But no matter what kind of technology you're using, whether you're using, a camera you may have at home or your smartphone, there's still some techniques to pay attention to when you want to do performance. So we're going to take a few minutes right now and watch a video on a man who has been doing this for years, how to do stand-up work. And these videos that you're watching here will also be in Blackboard, where you're going to find this overall lecture video that you can watch over and over again, because there's going to be some things I'm not going to take time to talk about here that you're going to need to watch to help you with the next app you're going to use, as well as I found something really cute that was sent to me on how to set up your own teleprompter. But before we get into that, let's watch this video.
Today we're going to talk about stand-ups. Stand-ups are an important part of any reporter's toolbox. Here's a few stand-ups that got me a job in Baltimore. Sheriff's office says they're ready. Here's the play. They're going to have more deputies in the stands, keeping everybody safe. They're going to have more deputies on the sidelines, keeping people off the field, and more deputies in the parking lot directing traffic. Or at least some of the buses will be filled with kids. They've got about 25 buses done, which is what they need to run the route this afternoon. Now let me show you exactly what they're dealing with. Here are 9,000 pieces of paper that represent each vote. This is what decided the elections. As you download the program, you hook it up, and you go through the internet. You can look through somebody else's computer, look at the files that they're sharing, and then you can take one. The only problem is you don't know what's inside. One of the problems everybody complains about is to walk from Main Street over to Bay. It's a virtual maze filled with twists and turns, incredibly frustrating dead ends, and if you're lucky enough to find them, shortcuts. But just when you think you've got it all figured out, it's all going to change. Those were all shot with the help of a photographer, but since then, times have changed. One-man bands are the norm. Reporting teams are becoming fewer and fewer, and you're still expected to go out and shoot a creative stand-up. Now, before I get into how to shoot a creative stand-up, I want to talk a little bit about why to shoot a creative stand-up. First of all, it connects us with the audience. Second of all, it shows the audience that we're out there reporting. And third, it gives us a little face time. Now, there are three types of stand-ups. The first type of stand-up is a bridge stand-up. It's the most important stand-up. It takes an idea or a fact and bridges the beginning of your package to the end of your package. It should be a transition. The second type of stand-up is a stand-up tag. It ends your package. It'll end with a sig out. The third is a look live or as live, and that's basically a live shot recorded and edited into your package. So it's the same thing as a stand-up tag, you're just recording an intro as well. Now for my class, I only want you to do bridge stand-ups. Stand-up tags are lazy and an easy way out. For your packages, I want them to end with the most compelling video you have. Your stand-up should be between 8 to 12 seconds, unless there's a lot of movement or very compelling. And then you can go as long as you want, kind of like the construction stand-up you saw earlier. Now here's a few examples from students in the past.
If you feel you're in danger, you simply take out your smartphone, hit call emergency, and police will see video directly from your phone, as well as your GPS location.
It's all about keeping the business plan simple. Do right by your customers, and there'll never be any empty spots in your lot.
Beagle's most innovative feature is its payment system. Users can simply scan their credit card into their iPhone and use it to pay for requested tasks. Once a user completes a task, they can option to cash out, turning favors into money.
There are three main types of distraction. Manual, taking your hands off the wheel. Visual, taking your eyes off the road. And cognitive, taking your mind off of driving.
Dining Services says each of the 22 TVs they purchased, such as this one, cost them $1,200. But once you add in the hardware, the software, and the training needed to operate those digital menus, and that $1,200 per TV actually increases to $4,500.
As we just saw, stand-ups are great vehicles to convey interesting facts and figures, stuff that you don't have video for. They're also great ways to do demonstrations. Now, I've got two montages from two different reporters who are out there working in the field doing creative stand-ups. They're all one-man bands. All of these were shot by the reporter. I want you to watch them and tweet to the class hashtag what your favorite was. Now, here's how to do a stand-up. The first step is write down what you're going to say. You won't always need to do this, but in the beginning, I always wrote my stand-ups down. The next step is to choose a microphone. 99% of the time, I want you to use a lavalier microphone. With a lavalier mic, your hands are free to be interactive. The only time I want you to use a stick mic is when it's windy outside. A stick mic handles wind much better than a lavalier. Once your mic is plugged in and you're wired, check your audio levels. Plug in your headphones and give yourself a listen. After your audio is set up, find something near where you're standing to focus on. If you have a light stand, you can use that. You're all set. Flip your LCD around, double check your audio, and press record. During your stand-up, I want you to relax. I want you to speak from your diaphragm. I want you to look at the camera kind of the way you would look at a pet. And I want you to smile with your eyes. That means smile with your whole face, not just your mouth. Now, when you do your stand-ups, I want them to be interactive, whether that's walking into the frame or as easy as walking out of the frame or even walking through a frame. You can stop, talk to the camera, and then keep going. And if you're talking about something in your surroundings, I don't want you just to talk about it. I want you to pick it up. I want you to touch it. I want you to hold it out for the camera. I want you to use a cut shot, which is just video overlaid on top of your stand-up. And I want you to use it. When you're doing your stand-up, you can use your hands a little bit. Keep it natural, but don't overdo it. You don't want to do this. This is annoying. This is natural. One thing I do not want to see is the hand diamond. Do not do the hand diamond. It's just not natural. Now, here's what some of the experts had to say.
Well, first, I think you need to figure out what is it that you're trying to bridge within a story. And once you figure that out, it's usually kind of easy to figure out and again, I think the more experience you have, the easier it becomes.
A lot of times you see people providing stand-ups and it comes across as very self-involved and narcissistic because you can clearly tell they only want to stick their face in front of the camera. I believe that a stand-up is strictly used for either a bridge or to provide something to a story that you don't have video for.
I recently did a story about thefts in cars and how women a lot of times put blankets over their purse, and that actually signals to a car thief, like, oh, there's something really good under there. So, of course, like, I put my purse, with a blanket on top and then was able to say that, and take the blanket off and say, it's actually a target for thieves to go in. You don't want to put one of these over the top of your purse. You want to instead put the purse in the back of your trunk. And you're moving through and you're kind of being demonstrative and showing those types of things.
3, 2. Give yourself a countdown at the beginning of your stand-up and a little bit of pat at the end by just staring blankly into the camera. This will give you a little room in editing. Now, here's some raw video. I want you to watch the whole thing. It's from a reporter out in the field, actually on a story. She posted it to YouTube. The link is right here. Watch it, then tweet your thoughts to the class hashtag. I know that was intense, but a good creative stand-up is intense. And a good creative stand-up is what's going to get you your first job. Thanks, and I'll see you in class.
So, I put that link on there. I am not sure because when I tried clicking on it, that, when he had those demonstrations in there that he said you click on and watch others, it didn't link to it. So I'm not sure if that's a clear link or not. I've reached out to the person I got it from, and they haven't gotten back to me yet to tell me whether or not
Hi, class.
I can
Today
get
we're
into
going to
that
talk about
again.
tracking an on-camera
Hold on a
presence.
second.
Whenever you're speaking on
Hold on a
camera or
second.
tracking a package,
Dan
you want to pay
Josh is
special
talking.
attention to your voice.
Hold on, Josh.
It should be both conversational.
Don't need you right now.
and
Thank you. Sorry, Josh. He's okay. Anyway, the point is, though, that these are just some things, techniques to work on while you're at home to be able to go ahead and produce some stand-up work. Now, you're saying, okay, how do I do this? What am I supposed to use? Well, one app that I've been playing with that I want you guys to try, and let me pull that up off this screen, and let's see if I can get there we go. It's called InShot. InShot, I've been looking for stuff, and if you're in one of my other classes, I've already mentioned this to you, and if you're in my 401 class, which I don't think any of you guys are, which is my multimedia field production class. Um, I've been looking for and gotten plenty of suggestions on simple to use smartphone apps where you can do a lot of cool things, some basic editing that you can lay down voice tracks with, that you could put text and graphics and things like that in there. And InShot was one that I was recommended to use, plus the fact that it works on both iPhone and Android systems, so you can put it on your iPhone, your Galaxy, or whatever Droid you may use, as well as your iPad, or if you have a tablet, you can do all of it there. And it's straightforward, simple editing. Think about what you're already doing with Adobe Suites on a more compact scale. You can, again, lay down voice tracks. You can add music. It has its own music library. Not as robust as some other apps, but you can add your own music in the background if you want. The great thing is, though, it's a quick and easy way for you to be able to work on some of your stand-up work. I know we're all kind of isolated and do our social distance thing, but it's be a great way to work on, do some stories about, maybe what you and your family are doing during this time of social distancing. Maybe you have a second job that actually is considered vital. Maybe you're working at Walmart or Kroger's or whatever. So you have to go in. So you can do some stories about what it's like, seeing, how reality is working in this new environment where people are hoarding toilet paper and you can't get alcohol and people are coming in and out. But the thing is, it's just a way to be able to use and to create stories. If you got a selfie stick, you can use that as your tripod, or you can make up some other tripod, or if you got a family member who can help you and they can hold the phone for you, they can be the ones to be able to shoot the video for you. But as you heard Josh talking about, in today's reality in broadcasting, learning how to be a one-man band has become fashionable, especially for those of you who are going to go into broadcast. You might be working in a small market to begin with, and you're going to be the one who's got to shoot, got to edit, you got to voice track everything. Well, these great apps will let you do that. Obviously, you probably will not have a lavalier microphone, but if you've got your headsets, many of them work off their Bluetooth, and those Bluetooths are pretty much similar to your wireless lavalier microphones. If you've been watching the news a lot of time, you see a lot of these people now, when they're doing interviews from home, they're speaking directly into their smartphones or their tablets, or those who have computers are using their computers, but they're using their wireless headsets, to be able to listen as well as be able to speak. So that's not an issue. There is a demo video, which is also in here. You'll see the link to it in the same link that you're using to watch this. It's too long for me to broadcast or put in here right now. I'll give you guys a chance to watch it, but it will walk you through all the different things that InShot will do. Play around with it, because one of the assignments I want you guys to do for the next few weeks is that once a week, I want you to upload a story about what's going on in your life. It's a great way to get your on-camera presence working. I know some of you are really shy about being on camera, but this is a way to continue to work on developing your broadcast skills, your performance skills. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a long thing with you in front of the camera. Your stand-up, as you heard Josh say, may only need to be 8 to 10 seconds, but it's going to help pull together whatever the story is that you guys are, talking about in this new reality of coronavirus. Maybe a story about, it was an interesting story I saw just a couple of days ago, where you've seen an increase of adoption of shelter pets now, because people who are now trapped at home, especially people who are by themselves, are looking for company. And so they're getting cats and dogs. They're finding homes for these wonderful pets. Let's hope that they'll be permanent homes. I've also seen other stories where people are giving up pets because they don't know if they're going to be able to take care of them now, being out of work, having to figure out how we're going to feed the kids and each other, and not being able to feed the pets. I mean, there's so many different things that you do stories about. Just take your time and think about being creative. And so for the next, for the rest of this month, every week, I want you to come up with a new story. It doesn't have to be a long one. 2 minutes we're talking about. I will again look for other apps that you may be able to use. But for next Monday, come up with a quick story about your life in this new world of social distancing and the coronavirus. And what's that story going to be about? That's up to you. Is it something that is going on in your home? Is it something that's going on in your hometown? Maybe there's an organization or a church down the street that's doing a food drive. Maybe it's maybe you're one of the people who's volunteering right now to deliver food to sick and shut-ins. That would be a great story. Maybe it's just what you and the family are doing to keep yourselves entertained. Did you build an indoor miniature golf course or whatever? Just think outside the box, or even inside the box, and trying to come up with something. Again, if you don't have a tripod or anything that you use, or a selfie stick, you can prop your phone up, on a bookshelf, or if you have bookshelves, get one of the bookshelf holders, or just use something just to be able to sit the phone on if you don't have anybody else to help you. But there are, again, plenty of ways to be able to make a nice little camera stand or tripod for you. A lot of you guys got those pop sockets, things like that. Those are, a great way to help the phone stand up on something. Again, there will be another video right here in this area where you're watching this, to be able to click on, and it'll show you everything there is to know about how to use InShot. And the video you just watched with Josh will also be available separately. So hopefully, if I found a way to be able to link into those demo videos that he got, you'll be able to use that. Again, I thank Josh and the person who passed this information on to me for getting it to me. I just haven't been able to figure out how to click in to watch those areas where he said click here. But you've got the overall general idea. If you got any challenges or questions, you can email me or you can text me. If I didn't give you my phone number, make sure you write it down. Phone number is 614-315-1101. Don't hesitate to text me if you've got challenges or questions. We're all trying to figure out how to make this all work, but the bottom line is I want you guys to feel good about the fact that you are going to be a professional eventually when you graduate, and I want you to be as well-rounded as possible. Even if your aspirations are not to be in front of the camera or behind the microphone, the better you are at your performance work, the easier it's going to be for you to sell yourself when you have to sit down for that interview. And we want to make sure that your portfolios show a wide range of skills. And this is actually, maybe I'm optimist, but this is actually a great time to be able to do all these different things, because when people start looking for people to hire, they're going to wonder, okay, how resourceful is this person? Well, if they see a nice portfolio with the different things that you did while you were dealing with the social distancing and quarantining or whatever, how you were able to use all these different apps and different software packages to be able to do good storytelling, that's going to enhance them even that much more to say, yeah, this person's got a lot going for them. So, they may be worth a shot. Anyway, you guys stay safe. I will be uploading something hopefully by the end of this week with some more software that you can use to help you with your video editing. This will be, again, this is not going to be for your this software is not going to be for your smartphone, but it's going to be something that you can use in place of Adobe Premiere or the Adobe Suite, especially if when you graduate, you may not have access to it. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.